Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Polynesian Podcast, sponsored by Levasa Island Apparel, www.levasaislandapparel.com. I am Lance Falitongo.
I'm Forrest, of course. My team beat Lance's team last year. So we're going to talk about what his team needs to do to get better like mine. Right. And then my team also played my team last couple years ago, and we beat them. So
the Raiders are also the last team to beat the Chiefs? Okay, all right.
Hey, we didn't just beat the Chiefs, man. We beat the Chiefs, man. You know what I mean?
Beat them in the championship mode, dog.
Yeah, we gave everybody the blueprint, and San Francisco, just like some rivals, decided to just not pay attention. They didn't want to do what we did because we did it first. So sucks for you guys, San Francisco fans.
They're just feeding the Chiefs Super Bowls at this point, it sounds like.
We got to talk about the Raiders and their Jordan Mahomes rules. Mike is here. Mike, what up? What's new?
I'm glad to be back. Haven't been on for a while. Just been being a big brother. I have twin siblings, and they both play basketball, so been going to a lot of high school basketball games. And
nice.
Not just play basketball, like high-level ballers here, yeah?
Yeah, they're pretty good. My sister, she's about to enter the state tournament, so we're hoping she can bring home the championship for the third time in a row.
Let's go. Good luck. All right. What is doo-doos? Who did you say got fired or hired just recently, Mike? Sorry, before we hopped on. Wait, sorry. We were talking about issues for our teams or what we're looking forward to, but it's totally blanking me now. But
who didn't get hired?
Yeah.
Bill Belichick.
Does that make him not the GOAT anymore? Who said that?
No, he's still the GOAT.
Marlon Humphrey. Yeah. Any other league news or anything that's popped up recently? The last couple of hours.
I didn't note that Justin Fields unfollowed the Chicago Bears on Instagram.
That's what it was. There you go.
I don't know if that means anything, but it is interesting. And someone is really weird because they found that information out. They were really creeping.
That always seems like the weirdest thing to me. Like, I know some of these guys, it's probably their job. They probably get paid, but like
to wait for somebody to unfollow the team.
So man,
that's got to be like a Google notification or something, right? Or like some sort of. How do you find that out?
He's just looking at his following.
Right.
Oh, it went down one.
Right, like. It'd be something else if it was like on your notifications, like it popped up somewhere. Justin Fields unfollows, but no, you really have to go somewhere and see that he unfollowed.
To be the guy that reports that news that finds out that Justin Fields is no longer following the Bears. Is that a quarterback the Raiders would like taking for next year or trading for?
There's a lot of people with the Raiders organization that they wouldn't mind taking him. This is Raiders, like coaches and the organization, but a lot of fans, they're reading into it as him and Getsy not clicking the last couple of years.
Oh, right.
But he did last year. His numbers got better towards the end of the season. He got better. So you can't just say that, they weren't clicking because in the second year with Getsy, his numbers were better, and then towards the end of last season, he was looking like a decent quarterback. So
yeah, definitely. I feel like there's definitely potential untapped that Getsy. Is it Getsy? Why am I saying Gretzky? Getsy? What's his name?
Yeah, Getsy.
Getsy, the offensive coordinator for the Raiders now, who was the offensive coordinator for the Bears in Chicago with Justin Fields. It felt like Justin Fields didn't really agree with the way he was being used in Chicago. So I wonder if, Getsy being the offensive coordinator for the Raiders lessens the chance that he's willing to get traded there.
I see what everybody's saying, but at the same time, there's so much that goes into play calling and the style of play or what you want. Because it's not just, yes, Getsy is the offensive coordinator, but he doesn't have final say on what plays get called or how they use Justin Fields. It's a head coaching decision. It's also coming from the front office. It's not just Getsy. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say that maybe he wanted to use Fields in a different way. We won't know until we won't know if they trade for Justin Fields and he gets to to Las Vegas and they use him in a different way, then maybe it wasn't Getsy that was using him that way. So
I don't know. We'll see. I feel as the offensive coordinator, you kind of have that. You're stamped onto that offense. But yeah, I mean, hopefully it was just like the coaches saying, they wanted to use Justin Fields in a more passer way instead of like his mobility. Mike, for the Seahawks, you guys have Geno Smith, right? You just gave him like an extension
guaranteed money. No, guaranteed. If we released him by Friday, then we didn't have to pay him, but it was only like $12 million.
So that's all.
But just 12. Like for a quarterback, that's a deal.
Does that mean that he's going to be staying there long term, more likely, or is it still possible that the Seahawks could be looking for another quarterback?
I think that they are still looking for a quarterback, but as a backup option, Geno's a solid role, and even as a mentor, because he's been through it all. And if we did draft a quarterback, I'm not going to expect him to play right away. I don't want that. I want him to develop a little bit and get better. Like, he can get some reps, but not like I'm not going to put the game in his hands day one. Like, he doesn't get the keys to the kingdom. I'd still say that's Geno's. He's earned the starting spot so far, so just let him ride until we find or develop something better.
Hey, for all you Seahawks fans, I'm going to start the campaign right now. Drew Lock as a starter. Let's go, man.
No.
We need that. That's what we need, man.
Brother Luke Jobs also is Drew Lock for Seahawks quarterback 1. President of that club. I don't, man, sure he flashed. I think that game that he won, what was that big game that he had like a fourth quarter drive that you guys won? Was that against?
He had like 5 this year.
Yeah.
Oh, Drew Lock?
Drew Lock. Oh, no.
Yeah, Drew Lock.
Drew Lock had one. Drew Lock had one good one.
Yeah, and I feel like it was just that last drive that he scored, right? Like I feel like the rest of the game, Drew Lock was kind of battling but I mean, he got the job done, right? But then Geno Smith, definitely a serviceable starter and a really good backup and a mentor. Because like you said, he's been through it. He's been the backup all over the place at a bunch of different teams. He's seen a lot. So definitely a good, someone that can coach up someone that's coming. But I feel like that, the C.J. Stroud or the Lamar Jackson, the like day one starters is a relatively new thing for the league at quarterback. It used to be like you take somebody and you have to let them sit for a little bit and let them learn everything, catch up to the speed of the league. And I hope that's, what happens for the Seahawks if you can't get somebody like, I mean, do you think they could trade for Justin Fields? Is that something you would want to see in Seattle?
I mean, that'd be tight, but I feel like Justin Fields himself has to change his identity. I would say go the opposite direction of what people want. Don't be a passer. Be a runner. Be someone who runs through people. Get hella buff. I don't know. He's only been in the league like 3 years, so he can still like get hella swole and get that like real grown man strength and just start running through people, and then he can come to Seattle.
It's Russ is heading back to Seattle.
Oh my gosh!
Russ is going back to Seattle. He's already selling his house in Denver. So
does he have like 12 bathrooms and 10 bedrooms in that house or something? It's the most expensive house in Denver, Colorado, or something.
I mean,
hey man, they paid. I mean,
they both can afford it. You know what I mean? They're not strapped for cash.
Right, the Walmart money. Shout out to Dangerous. Well, it's interesting to see where he's going to end up now that Sean Payton's kind of dumping him off. And interesting to see for all of our teams, Chargers, Raiders, Seahawks, exactly what is going to transpire this offseason. I feel like we're all in the middle of big changes institutionally for our teams. as all of our teams have changed head coach this offseason. The Raiders promoted Antonio Pierce away from interim head coach to regular head coach. Seahawks hired Mike McDonald, the defensive coordinator for the Ravens. The Chargers got Jim Harbaugh and a new general manager. So, yeah, definitely a lot of change coming up. And I wanted to tap in with you guys and see, like, what is the number one biggest thing for your team going into this offseason? And for me, it's kind of that coaching, but it's also GM related in that how is we've already seen Jim Harbaugh kind of bring in a bunch of other coaches, whether it's from Michigan or from across the country, or we also got Navarro Bowman that worked with him, that played for him in San Francisco to be our linebackers coach, which I think is big. We don't have a lot of former player coaches for the Chargers, but now that he's building out kind of the coaching roster, what is going to happen with the number 5 overall pick, and whether the Chargers are going to do the boring thing and trade back, which is what I think is going to need to happen, or if they're going to take a swing on like a second or third level wide receiver.
Brock Bowers.
That's what I'm saying. At the 5, we could have 3 quarterbacks go 1, 2, 3. And then Marvin Harrison gets taken at 4, and then we have to take the second best wide receiver. Or we could take the best like defensive player and build off of that. But that's still 2 months away. It's still like kind of that exciting new coaching change, it feels like, for our franchise. But yeah, this offseason, definitely what's going to happen with that number 5 overall pick. And I know the consensus on what's going to happen is going to change a bunch. The mock drafts are going to change a bunch just because everything else kind of depends on what happens in front of us. But I think trading back for more picks and like really restarting and getting as many new, maybe not elite projected players, but great projected players is probably the best way to do it. And it also feels like kind of the old Ravens way, more like the Patriots way where they trade back a bunch. But yeah, the Ravens general manager, I feel like it isn't afraid to make trades back and forth. So trying to see what's going to happen there. And I think that's what's going to happen. This offseason, that's going to be a big thing for Chargers. I definitely want a lineman. Right tackle, or a defensive tackle, someone to replace the Bosa Mac duo that might get released or is definitely getting older. But yeah, something to help Justin Herbert definitely would be, not only acceptable but appreciated. I feel like by the quarterback and the offense and the fans who want to see our quarterback actually play in games and not get smashed up and hurt all the time. Better offensive blocking, better being able to contain people like Max Crosby and his triangle face mask, or, Chris Jones, whoever else it needs to be. I would definitely love like a lineman or something that could help out. And also on the defensive side, lineman too was we're always getting run on. So shoring up that middle and then also helping, Tuli Tuipulotu had a great season, replacing Joey Bosa a lot after he went out with the injury. So definitely building on that and getting younger, getting faster and stronger. So, yeah. Forrest, for the Raiders, number one thing this offseason that you're looking forward to?
Just improve on our greatness. That's all, Just be more great. Now, I think they should show up both sides of the line. They do need a lot of the D tackles on the team are free agents. I think they have one that's going to be under contract this offseason. So shoring up the D line, of course, and then just switching out parts on the O line. They still have Colton Miller, Dylan Parham is all right. He did pretty good on the line. So, but they're probably going to need a center and another left guard, depending on if they re-sign Illuminor, who can play both right tackle and right guard. So just shoring up both lines, because whether you have Aiden O'Connell, of course, the Raiders' biggest biggest need right now is a quarterback. Because a lot of teams that's where you want to build your team off of is your quarterback. But being 13th in the draft, they either have to trade back and maybe get a quarterback in the second round who's not going to play right away. He's going to sit anyway. So use that pick on they have that lineman out of Illinois, Jay Newton. He looks pretty good, D tackle. I wouldn't mind him at 13. I think he's worthy. You could also go quarterback. I know you got Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert. You got to play twice a year. So why not just bolster your defensive backfield? But you ask what I want to do. Yeah, I'd go straight for both lines and revamp them, because if it's going to be Aiden O'Connell back there for a little bit, or what's his name from Minnesota?
Hearing you say that, if it's going to be Aiden O'Connell back there for a little bit, kind of dropped my heart. Like, is there nothing better? Like, you think that could happen for the Raiders?
So when I say that, it's not that there's nothing better, but you can put all that money to both lines and then shore up your defense again. And if your O-line is good, you can literally run the ball and just have Aiden O'Connell be a game manager. Nothing wrong with being a game manager as a quarterback. We've seen Alex Smith did it for the San Francisco 49ers when he was there. Did a great job doing it. I think we saw Oklahoma quarterback, Tampa Bay. What's his? Oh, gosh.
Oh, Baker.
Baker. I mean, he does some exciting things, but at the same time, I think he's a really good game manager, despite what Cam Newton thinks. Actually, no, he also said that being a game manager is not bad. But from what we've seen with Aiden O'Connell, we're using
was Peyton Manning a game manager?
In Denver, yes.
Oh, okay.
In Denver, yes.
I just feel like when I hear that, I hear like not physically talented.
I don't think it's not fit, because Alex Smith could run. He was athletic, But what he was able to do was he made the right plays. He never there wasn't wrong plays he made. Like if there's quarterbacks out here. Justin Herbert, for instance, he's got a really big arm, so he's gonna try to get throws. Like he's gonna make, in his mind, his arm is so strong, he can either shoot it all the way down the field, shoot it through some gaps, I mean, he could probably do it. And when he does it, we're like, oh, no, Justin Herbert can do it. But if we ever saw, again, Baker Mayfield try to fit things through certain gaps and try to gun it all the way downfield, all of us are going to be like, nah, man.
That's not you.
That's not you. Hit the intermediate route, find your check down.
Throw it away.
Right. Throw it away. Or run it, because Baker Mayfield has wheels. So, when I say game changer, I mean, these are guys that they make plays that's not going to hurt your team. They're not going to be flashy. They're not, it doesn't mean they're not going to hit a guy 30 yards downfield when he's open. Yeah, of course they can do that. But if he's like Justin Herbert, he can make that throw if Mike Williams is down there and he throws a 50-50 ball. You don't mind Justin Herbert doing that. Because he's going to put it. He's got a strong enough arm and the arm talent, not just his strength, to get it to Mike Williams in the spot he needs it on a 50-50 ball. And not all quarterbacks can do that.
I feel like it's going to be an exciting free agency period for the Raiders. It's like a fresh kind of vision there with Antonio Pierce. Exciting players want to play there.
For sure. But the only fear is that he's going to, not just him and Telesco are going to try to make a splash, because there's so much hoopla going around. There's so much people saying Antonio Pierce shouldn't have been hired, or, what did Tom Telesco do these past years in Los
Angeles?
I'm just saying San Diego. In Los Angeles. Because he's drafted well. He has drafted well, but not all of them have meshed well together to get them to, that's a lot of teams. But because he's going over to the Raiders, and Antonio Pierce was a high-level hire in the media, just after the firing of Josh McDaniels for the second time on a team, didn't have 2 whole seasons. And then you can hire a guy who's been a defensive coordinator in college, but not in the NFL. And before we get to Mike's Seahawks, my thing is everybody's always talking about, well, yeah, I'd like to see a lot more experienced hires, more coordinators, come in and take those jobs. But how do you think those guys got experience? How do you think they became good coordinators? Because one day some dude was like, well, shit, give him a chance. You know what I mean? So
give him more responsibility, see how he handles it.
Yeah. So Antonio Pierce has one of the most important things already checked on the box. Those guys love to play for him. And not only do they love to play for him, they vouch for him off the field too. If this was high school, they I don't know, some of these guys probably Jack Jones, I know for sure, looks at him as another father figure. So he's got that presence with the team, and he's got that down right now. He's got experience on the defense side of the ball, which they crushed the last half of the season last year. So, yeah, as long as they don't do anything too crazy because people are looking for them to do something crazy, I think they'll be all right. Even if it's Aiden O'Connell behind center next year, I think they should fix both lines, re-sign Josh Jacobs, make things easy, and then focus on the defense. Because if you still have Josh Jacobs, Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers, and Michael Mayer, that's a great fucking offense.
I agree.
Yeah.
Potential, definitely. We'll see.
For sure.
All right, so fix the roster. Fix the lines.
Both lines would be, because once you fix those two things, it helps your defensive backfield getting to the quarterback. And if you can block for your quarterback and give him the time because he's not that great yet, it helps too. Especially
wait, who's not that great yet?
Aiden O'Connell. He's good. He's not an elite quarterback. I'm not saying he's going to be an elite quarterback, but
okay.
I think he still hasn't reached his potential. He's probably better than Herbert, but we'll see.
I mean, sometimes I think Justin Herbert needs to stop getting injured. All right, Seahawks. Mike, what do you have for the biggest offseason thing you're looking forward to?
It's all about instilling a new culture. I was a big Pete guy, so I was sad to see him leave. However, I did understand that it was time. When he came into the league as the Seahawks coach, his defense was revolutionary. Unfortunately, he never stopped running that defense, and the whole NFL changed to where now it was outdated and not everybody could pick it apart real easily. So it's all going to be about this season, off season, about building that defensive culture. I don't know much about Mike McDonald, the new coach. I did see that we also got your coach, Lance, his son is our special teams coordinator, I think. One of the Harbaughs.
Jay Harbaugh?
Jay Harbaugh, yep.
Yeah. So I hope he's not snitching to Pops. Honestly.
He's a Harbaugh. They're cheaters. We all know that.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Did you guys sign the one video coordinator dude that was going to the games?
Did we get no?
Yeah, he's a Charger. He's a Charger. Yeah, he's the video coordinator for the
No. Connor Stallions.
They've already seen him at a Rams practice.
I think we got the D-line coach from Michigan.
We
do not have the video. We do not have the director of video scouting from Michigan.
They didn't sign it.
I had to Google that real quick, bro. I was like, wait a minute. There's been a lot happening recently.
But yeah, just instilling that culture. I really want to see the defense go back, maybe not to the Legion of Boom, but maybe a new era, a new defining era. But it's probably going to have to start in the secondary and D-line like it did with the Legion of Boom. So, I'm excited. If our offensive line doesn't get hurt week 1 against the Rams, 4 out of the the 6 linemen went down. Man, we might have won a couple more games. Our season looks a little different. Like Gino, he was running for his life all the time. He was one of 6 QBs to uh, get a sack on every time he was pressured under 15% of the time. So like he's getting pressured, and under 15% of the time it turns into a sack. And that's with like Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes.
Dang. He escapes.
He's an escape artist, but he still was getting sacked a shit ton, which was really sad. So
He's getting pressured a lot.
Jeez Louise. Yeah, our O line was real terrible, but it was really due to injuries. So hopefully they can come back this year, be completely healthy. That'll help our run game. And last year I said what DK Metcalf would break the Seahawks receiving record. Not even close. Not even close.
I mean, he broke Seahawks fans' hearts. That's what he broke. Dude, and he almost broke someone's jaw.
Yeah, the Niners fans, man, they hate DK Metcalf. They be talking mad shit about him on the internet. Why don't you go stomp on someone's ankle? I'm like, get over that, guys.
Hey,
they're playing
happened a long time ago.
All right, shut up.
I'm also very interested to see kind of how Mike McDonald puts his stamp on the team, and definitely that defense, and whether that like the crazy strong, fast, hard-hitting defense of the Ravens like this year is how much of that is going to transfer over, and how much of that was Kyle Hamilton, the players on the Ravens, Kyle Hamilton, Patrick Queen, what's it? Queen. Roquan Smith.
Yeah. Roquan Smith.
So
and the Seahawks also are, well, not losing them yet, but both their linebackers are free agents this year. So,
Wagner and
hard to see Bobby. I mean, we already seen him outside of a Seahawks uniform, but I don't think
weird.
I don't know if he's gonna go. I think if he doesn't re-sign, I think Bobby Wagner might retire, which is cool because he's had an amazing career. Like
he also backwards, so that's really detrimental to our defense. Literally, you don't understand how frustrating watching. You could literally say, "Oh, look, they're gonna run the game plan, throw it right behind Bobby Wagner," and literally they can march down the field just
right over it.
Bobby led the league in tackles, but he's tackling everyone from the back.
Running upfield.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh," I'm like, "Damn, Bobby, jeez, please."
Oh no.
So if we could maybe find some better outside linebackers that can cover his ass on that, then I'd be like, yeah, sign him. Sign him for a little more than the Vetman, because he's a Hall of Famer.
Have you compared like the Seahawks roster to the Ravens roster at all? Like trying to see if that's going to transfer over, or do you think it's comparable?
I don't think so. I think they're better. Their defense is a lot better than ours. Ours is very young. Devin Witherspoon and Tariq Woolen on the outsides. I don't know what happened this year. Tariq Woolen fell off a cliff. He forgot how to tackle or something. I was hearing reports that the Seahawks weren't tackling during practice, like at all, like zero.
Oh, like as a safety thing, but like as a.
And then they go in the games, you're like, oh yeah, they definitely aren't tackling.
Confirmed. Report confirmed.
Yeah. They're just like, So hopefully sometimes people have a sophomore slump.
Yeah.
In the NFL, I've heard that term a lot. So I would say maybe that's his, so he can come back next year and be that.
Everybody who isn't a Tariq Woolen fan right now is just saying, no, he's been exposed.
First year was a fluke. I mean, would you say those two are the ones that McDonald should be building around?
Definitely.
Witherspoon and Woolen?
We don't really have many like D linemen that are. Oh, Uchenna Nwosu, right? Mm-hmm. Then we get him from the Chargers.
Yeah.
He's pretty good. And then
is it Boy Mafe?
Oh, Boy Mafe, yeah, but one of them I think he got hurt. So just staying healthy but like our defense, it has the potential. As long as we're not running this fucking janky ass cover 3 whatever Pete had going on. It was so easy.
He was like, it'll all be covered. It'll all be covered. Come on, guys, let's do it. Just run a little faster. You got this. Come on.
All right, Bobby, you're going to have to backpedal a little faster than that.
Don't worry, Seattle fans. Talked to him earlier. Jamal Adams is getting bigger. They're going to move him to linebacker because he can't cover.
Release him. Release the Kraken.
Because he can't cover for shit. So
honestly, though, that's not a bad idea. So you can play middle linebacker.
Yeah, like if you're not going to be able to do good back there, just step up here, fill in this spot.
Seahawks also have the Ryan Grubb, I think, is our offensive coordinator.
Yep.
He was the offensive coordinator at UW.
Washington.
And he was going to go be the offensive coordinator for Alabama with Kalen DeBoer, but then he came back to the Seattle job. So maybe that's an indication of us drafting Michael Penix at number 16.
Oh.
Which I wouldn't be mad at, but I don't know. I think there's other issues that need to be addressed before you go finding the quarterback of the future.
Is Penix the QB4? Like after Caleb Williams, Drake May, Jaden Daniels?
I'm seeing like 6.
Whoa, what other quarterbacks are like in that range then?
Like
McCarthy,
JJ McCarthy,
Bo Nix,
the one that won the Heisman, Jaden McDaniels.
He's 4. He's 4 for sure.
Well, like the first 3 teams are going quarterback, right?
Well, actually, Jaden McDaniels would be 3. I think at the moment, because some teams are slotting him at like ahead of Drake May.
I need to look at who the picks are, but I feel like the first 3 teams taking quarterbacks means quarterbacks will get even pushed up even more in the middle round where the Raiders and the Seahawks are. And you guys, both of your teams are like, we could take a quarterback here, but it's going to be
Williams. Duh, that's the one I was forgetting. I was like, there's one more.
The second round quarterbacks, I feel, are going to get moved to the first round just because of how many quarterbacks go in the first 3-4 picks.
I don't see it, but it's the NFL, and some people do reach. Hopefully they don't, because I think all those 3 quarterbacks that are behind the first 3 are all like second round, third round grades, like Penix, and then you have Nix, McCarthy. I think all those guys you can get early in the second round if you're thinking about getting them. So you use your first pick on something else. Like, there's not too many teams that are quarterback hungry, and there aren't that many quarterbacks out there that you're going to be like, man, we got to get him early because we won't get him in the second round.
Because this guy that we're about to get is not better than what we have. So.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't see them. Well, I understand what you're saying with the first 3 picks, early quarterbacks going in and someone's going to try to reach and those guys get bumped up to the first round. But I don't think there's other teams that are that quarterback hungry or quarterback starving, I guess, with guys that are already there. Like, I don't think anybody that you're drafting now is going to come and start over any of the other starting quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Like, Bo Nix is not going to come in and start. Neither is JJ McCarthy. Penix, maybe, like, you would, if he didn't have all the injuries, like, that's going to be big at the combine. How teams going to have to do their real good due diligence and to see how, because that's pretty risky. And I hate to say it because everybody says it, but it's true. The guy's had some really gruesome injuries, and not just like one, he's had like 3. So I think he would be quarterback number 4, and I think without the injuries, he would definitely be a first-round grade with everybody. But the injuries really drag him down. So there's other quarterbacks too. I think McCall out of I want to say like Coastal Carolina. That guy was pretty good.
Never heard
Tanner,
of him. Yeah.
He's pretty good. Tanner Mordecai out of what was Tanner last? He was a 5-star out of high school, went to Oklahoma, ended up at SMU. Tanner Mordecai, he's not bad. I think
Talia's in this draft, yeah? Tell me about
by force because he couldn't get the appeal for the final year, which would have been cool because what he was planning to do was get the last year, go to Miami, and be their starting quarterback because they're ready to roll. Like all they need also is a proven quarterback because the quarterbacks they got are younger and they don't have experience. So and he would have been there, of course, with his brother. So it would have been a pretty cool transition for him. But they didn't give him the final year, and now he's entering the draft. So yeah, you got like Talia, those guys who probably are going to develop into starting quarterbacks. Like we've seen Talia play like just for reference, Talia is a pretty good quarterback. We've seen him play. He's broken
most
records.
pass yards in ACC history.
Yeah, so there's gonna be great quarterbacks in the later rounds. So hopefully, me and Mike's team doesn't get stupid and be like, "No, we need that guy."
Ooh, trade up for a quarterback.
That's different. Trade up, and a lot of people are gonna also say, "Why would you trade away your future?" Because you're trying to get your future. That is the game of offseason. You're gonna take that chance if there's a guy, and according to every scout, 3 of those guys are worth the trade up. They're worth the 3 years of first round picks, and a player named Hunter Renfro.
29-year-old.
Send it.
But I mean, if you guys had a preference for your team to trade up, if Herbert wasn't your quarterback right now, and you still had the second comeback of Phillip Rivers, which quarterback would you trade your next 3 first-round picks for, and a semi-star player? Which quarterback would you go with?
I mean, I haven't been doing any sort of rookie quarterback research because I know that we don't need one, right? We're just going to stay with the guy we just extended for 4 more years and broke his finger in Max Crosby's face mask. But yeah, if I was going to do that, like a bunch of first round picks and a star player, it'd be for the number 1 pick, and it'd be for Caleb Williams.
I'm not a fan of Caleb Williams.
He's got the mercurial. I know he's like crying. He did
wear the dress though, so maybe the Illuminati will take care of him.
He wore a dress somewhere?
Yeah, he's wearing this red dress. Look at that.
Oh.
I mean, nothing against wearing dresses. I like wearing dresses every once in a while, but
I feel like he's got that little shitty attitude, but like physically and mentally he can see the field and really make the throws that need to be made. Although as a USC fan, I've also seen him not do enough. Like if the defense is not holding people down, like sometimes he can't keep up, even though he had a bunch of really good receivers this last year.
Who would you take, Mike?
If I had to pick out of, I don't even like really any of these quarterbacks this year. So,
did not a trade up year?
Nah, I don't think so. Maybe for like Marvin Harrison Jr. I would do that. I'll trade Tyler Lockett, 2 first rounders, to draft Marvin Harrison at 3.
Yeah, Marvin Harrison, Jackson Smith, and Jigba for the next 10 years.
Yeah, right.
Nice.
Now we might as well use their quarterback. We should get him
Drew Lock.
Just slinging it. Drew Lock's like, all right, pick a sideline, throw deep.
But shoot, out of the quarterback, my favorite out of the quarterbacks, I like Jaden McDaniel. I like his ceiling. Yeah, he has the potential to be a game changer, so I think all the other ones would be. I think Bo Nix, his ceiling is like fucking Baker Mayfield, and his floor is.
I think he's hit his ceiling already. I think Bo Nix is hit it. You know how we hear all these great quarterbacks about them being in the system and throwing these screens and letting their guys, yards after catch. Well, all of us will defend some of these quarterbacks when they say that. Like we've defended Tua, we've defended Brock Purdy. I will not defend Bo Nix because that's what Bo Nix is.
I don't think Bo Nix is gonna be that good.
He's like older than CJ Stroud.
Yeah, that too. He's also like a super senior, and like
I think he's gonna be a good backup. I think he's gonna be a good backup.
He's gonna be a backup that like plays with a chip on his shoulder when he goes in, and maybe wins it like a couple of games or something. But I think over time, if he was the starter, defenses would pick him apart.
He should Taysom Hill it up. That's what I'm thinking. His best route of action would be.
He's like, I feel like a bigger guy too. Like he could.
He's a runner.
He could do that.
He's a runner. Yeah. If I was to trade up, I'm trading up for Drake May. Nothing against. I do think Caleb Williams is the generational talent that everybody's saying. I don't mind the crying. I don't mind the finger paint on your nails. You know, I talk a lot of shit when I say anything.
Fuck Iowa on your fingernails every week. I don't mind it.
I don't mind it. You know what I mean? I don't mind it. Again, I talk a lot of shit. Yeah.
It's so weird seeing fuck Utah on someone's fingernails and then Utah confetti like all over the field and stuff. It's like, oh.
That's tough. I've seen worse things. Of course, Caleb Williams he's going to be so much more magnified than anything, but I've seen worse things guys do for motivation. So, like, I'm not too put off by the fingernails. The dress, of course, he's younger, man. He's young. The attitude,
he's trying to be styling.
The attitude, depending on who he gets drafted by, the attitude can be fixed. He is not Johnny Manziel. I can tell you that because that guy was just an asshole. He didn't care about playing ball. He's not Tebow. Tebow didn't have the arm talent, you know. Didn't have the arm talent. But if I was the Raiders, I would trade up, and I would trade up for Drake May because he's built in the mold of Justin Herbert with about the same arm strength. He's a little bit more athletic. He can use his legs just a little bit more. And I think because he's built like that, he's going to be able to take a little bit more of the hits and stuff like that. He was at a program with Mac Brown where, like, he was like they were expect every preseason, like they were ranked like maybe mid top 25, but the expectations were so high, you know. So I think he's dealt with a lot of adversity, and I think he's ready to be a pro. So Drake May, I think, has all the tools out there.
Nice. All right, we're fixing up our teams. We now know who we would trade up for. Nice. Before we do shout outs, pod goals. I mentioned this in the chat. Seeing like people at the Super Bowl like report. I know like the Radio Row, they kind of let anybody in and you can go in, but I feel that like
hey, if you're there, that's crazy. You know what I mean?
No, you're special if you make it there.
Yeah. So
I know what you mean. Like you can literally go with a mic and stand on Radio Row and like, but still, for you to even have the goal to go there, you know, to stand there and interview people, that's pretty cool. Like the little kid that went, last year too. He's dope. He's a really good interviewer. They had the little girl there this year too. But I know what you're saying, but at the same time, man, that's a great goal, man. I love it. And that's when we go there, you'll know what I mean when I'm saying, like, you know what I mean? People will recognize us.
Where's that, New
Orleans? Next year, Super Bowl 59, I think, is in New Orleans, and then Super
what team
Bowl.
You play
for? Let me get in there. And then Super Bowl 60 is, I think, in San Francisco. Santa Clara, wherever there.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, not going there.
I'm not going to that one.
Guys, it's so close.
Bruh.
No.
Logistically, it's the easier one. And both of you are like,
That's what the logistics said.
I've never been robbed in broad daylight, standing in front of the person that's robbing me and not knowing I'm getting robbed.
All right. I wanted.
The next one.
What's the one after that? Back in LA or something.
We'll be all right. We got EY out there, boat to show us around the bay, keep us safe. So, you know, I'll call Pilo and see if he can come out.
Live off the security detail. Yeah.
Go.
Bowley.
Call Matt. Yeah.
But definitely. Events like that and football being, I feel like, our main sport, and the Super Bowl. You know, it's the Super Bowls. The Super Bowl of freaking Super Bowls. the biggest event. So definitely, yeah, I want to go there. And I feel like before we get there, there has to be like the chops need to get up to par before we go. So like interviewing other athletes, artists, sports people also like not just athletes on the field, but the people like in the offices making the moves and stuff. So definitely want to start reaching out and consistently tapping people to come on and share, or getting the stories even if we have to like write something up or like on some journalism shit and ask people for answers and then present it that way. Or just like crafting the content, whether it be podcasts or writing or videos, to get that information out there, and like doing it more consistently, and then also keeping the pod on like a regular scheduled programming. So like I'm thinking every Tuesday, but if we're recording Mondays, yeah, just getting that on track and rolling so that by the time it's Super Bowl season again, which is going to be on us quick, right? It's off season, fantasy football, regular season, fantasy playoffs, and then Super Bowl's coming up real quick. So yeah, just working with the chat and the boys and figuring out the steps we're going to take to make that become a reality. Because I'm so ready to like go out there and get the stories and be around football during football season, especially at the big climax at the end of like Super Bowl weekend or Super Bowl week.
Hell yeah, that sounds super dope.
You always steal my answer.
That's what I was gonna say, man.
Yeah, no, and I'm just, I wanted to put it out there, so that we're like, it's out there, and now we have to be accountable and like do it. So,
if any of our listeners want to bless us with Super Bowl tickets,
feel
free.
Just drop 3 off over in the email. That's all we need.
That'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be cool.
It's all good.
Super Bowl tickets, like the minimum, the standing tickets are like $2,000 for top row. I'm like,
that's all.
I don't even need Super Bowl tickets. I just need
the pass
down there, and then like a hotel, and then Radio Row. Here we go, baby.
Yeah, but another way I was thinking of either raising funds for that is to start doing commercials, and we can record and produce, put music on, get other voices for it, like commercials, radio ads. So if you have a business and you're looking for, someone to make your ads, whether it be radio or video, or somewhere to play them, we definitely have the space to put up and really promote different businesses to our listeners, and like to different networks and different podcasts too. So definitely tap in, but we want to start. We've got a radio spot for Livasa that we're going to be working on, and then I think we can build that out to like different video commercials for Livasa too. Shout out to Livasa Island Apparel, Brother Uriah Hosea, Brother Va.
Hell yeah.
The LVs in Modesto, www.livassaislandapparel.com. Also, they're going to be up here in Vancouver, Washington, back in the Pacific Northwest this July for the 4 days of Aloha Fest at Esther Short Park. So definitely put that in your bookmark, or put that in your calendar and bookmark that for this summer. We're going to get to see Livasa Island Apparel and all the new hoodies and gear live and in person at the 4 days of Aloha Fest. So that is our episode. You guys got anything else before we hit shout outs? Any like news or topics that you wanted to hit?
Oh yeah, man. Every Super Bowl should be played in Las Vegas from now on. They should not move it away from Vegas. They should just have it in Vegas.
That's fair.
Why is that?
Yeah.
Built for that shit.
Because, the Raiders play their best team ever. Why would you not want us to host? Man. I just think Vegas is like, you do have, New York is a great city. LA is a great city. You're not getting shot at. New Orleans, another great city. We used to be the murder capital. I'm not putting out these facts to deter you from having
It sounds like you're just adding those on.
But no, I just think the atmosphere alone in Las Vegas is glitz and glamour. You know what I mean? Like
party time.
Why would you not want to have it? I wasn't a part of the festivities when I was there in Vegas this time, but I did see a lot of the stuff that was going on. Like the city was alive. Like and people who weren't even there to watch. Like you said, people who weren't there to watch the game, maybe to just be on Radio Row or just to be part of the. Like they had a NFL 360 there doing the pop up events where they had like the obstacle fields on the somewhere around the strip, where they had like there was a couple bars there who had I saw Joe Montana out there at a bar, doing promos. I think Ronnie Lott was out there. So yeah, Vegas is that city. It's growing, it's expanding, and
it's built for that. Built for entertainment, the entertainment capital of the world. Big conventions, lots of people, lots of hotels.
Yep.
I see it. I think there's been like a campaign, so to speak, kind of like a grassroots push for the Super Bowl to be between like 3 or 4 cities only, because you take it to different places. I think it was the All-Star game, because the All-Star game was in Indiana. It was boring or something, so you should only have it in LA or Miami or something like that. But I can see kind of for the biggest weekend of the league, wanting it to be as successful for the people that are there. Being in
the players being selfish
for the NBA.
Yeah, they're complaining about it being in Indiana. Like you're not like they're mad because there's nothing to do.
They're like
the game.
We're the party. We're showing up to be the party for Indiana instead of them hosting us. Okay,
the NBA All-Star game was boring. First of all, the best part was the Sabrina Ionescu versus Steph Curry 3-point contest.
Yeah,
that was the best part of the whole All-Star weekend by far.
I tuned into that All-Star game for like.
Sucks.
Wait, who won?
Mac McClung. They just pulled him out of his little room in the basement of the NBA. And
little G League.
Like, go jump, boy. Go jump.
That's the thing, though. Like, I totally forgot the game was on last night.
Exactly. It doesn't matter.
That's the league's fault, though, for like, I don't know, they don't do enough. But also, man, these players, man, they sound like bitches these days, man. We're not out here trying to compete. Bro, you're an all-star. Why the fuck you not trying to compete in the game? Like, go out there and try to go at somebody's head. These fools want to go out there.
They already don't want to play in the games.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The All-Star game is for the fans. Like, the whole weekend is for the fans specifically. And you guys are just going to
people vote you in.
The score was like 200 something to 170 something. Like
the accolade is crazy. Like, you get to be an all-star. So a lot of the suggestions.
Like, take that out.
You know what? I'm not going to talk about it anymore because this could be a whole episode for us. So we're going to get caught in this.
We're going to talk about how to fix the NBA All-Star game.
Yeah, next time. Yeah, exactly. We're here for another hour. The only other thing I have to say is celebrating these women in sports, man, starting with Mike's sister, Katie Fiesel, who's a phenomenal player, not just in the state of Washington, but in the country itself. She'll be attending Oregon, it is, Mike?
Yep.
So, if you guys are a fan of not just women's basketball, but basketball itself, please prepare to be just amazed as Katie's going to go down to Oregon and she's going to light her own torch down there, blaze her own path.
Around. They're struggling down
there. Yep, they're struggling. It's going to be nice. They do have another Hawaiian girl that plays on the team right now. I think she got another year, so she'll probably be down there with Katie. Her name's Ula Chamberlain. She's not bad. She's pretty good. So that's great to see. But also, I was just checking the new projections for the WNBA draft, and Tahina Paopao and Elisa P are slated to go 7 and 8 in the draft. Of course, it's just a projection. It's early, but that's crazy. You know what I mean? Growing up, there was only one Samoan, just Polynesian, but Samoan girl who played in the WNBA, who even was recognizable at the time. Naomi Mulitaopele. She played at, I forgot what high school in Washington, and I think she went to UW. and then got drafted to WNBA. And then there's been great women playing, like Polynesian women playing, but at the level that Tahini Papau and Elisa Beatty are playing out right now, it's crazy. Tahini Papau is like, I think she's shooting like 47 from three.
For the undefeated
that's
Gamecocks?
ridiculous. For the number one undefeated Gamecocks, that's crazy. And then Elisa's, I think she's fourth in rebounding in the country. At the same time, she might be like 10th in scoring, because when she feels like she needs to put up like 30, 40, it's easy for her to do so. Not easy to to get the ball in the bucket, but it's easier for her to turn that switch on and go that mode. She has such good footwork. Yeah. So great to see those guys just get recognized for how great they were. Both of them transfers from another program. Tahine out of Oregon, Elisa out of USC. So now they're with their new programs and just they're killing it. So we love to see it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Any other shout outs for us?
If we have a shout out, see, that was just me recognizing them. But shout out to my dad, man. Turned 80 years old yesterday.
Hey, happy birthday.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. He's it's an adventure with him right now. He's going through dementia. It's not too bad right now. He has his days where, it's funny. So like last night, me and my sister were in the kitchen and we were just cleaning up because we came home. We took him to shout out to Harvest Buffet. We're gonna plug you tonight because the food was good. Food was good at Harvest last night. We came home from Harvest, had my other brother and his wife come over and the kids, and we had cake and ice cream. Sang happy birthday to him again. They went home. We were cleaning up, and out of nowhere, my dad comes out the room, and he's like frantic, telling my sister something. So I think he's having like a really bad episode. But and for people who are wondering, I don't have a problem talking about it because it's my dad, and I love my dad no matter what. Just in case, I know a lot of people have problems. Like some people get embarrassed about their parents going through things like that. But my dad's still the same guy. Just sometimes he's forgetful. What I mean? That's how I see it. But so he comes out the room and he's talking. And I'm wondering because I'm playing Call of Duty in the front. So I take out my earphones and my sister's looking at me. She's laughing. I was like, "What did he need?" He said, "My man came out the room, and my mom doesn't like him having money in his wallet because in his mind, there's a store down the street where they live at now from the old neighborhood." And he's always like, "I want to go down the street, get Filipino food." And my mom's like, "No, you don't have no money." Sometimes that's the only thing that keeps him from going. But he got birthday presents yesterday, and everybody was showing him the money, right? So my sister at the hometown buffet took the wallet, put the money in his wallet. "I'll hold it for you, Dad." So we were hoping that he wasn't going to remember, but no. 12:00 at night, my man comes out the room, goes, "Mess, where's my wallet and my money?" I was like, "Oh." I was like, "Whoa, you remember that? This guy." But shout out to my guy, man. He's always been a funny guy. I've always had so many siblings in the house, man, that weren't his biological kids. And he's loved every one of us the same. So 80 years old. I hope for another 80. Yeah. So shout out to my guy, man. Shout out to my guy.
Nice. Yeah, happy birthday.
Mike,
any shout outs?
Man, I'm always like thinking very hard about these. Yeah, shout out to one of my homies. His name's Justin Cox. He was my brother's high school basketball coach this year, and it's his first year coaching, and he's really turned the program around. Last year they were like a 3-win season team. This year they won 10 games, went to playoffs for the first time in 12 years.
That's dope.
So, yay! Nice.
A lot of his emphasis is on like getting the community involved with like caring about the program and stuff. And so like all the alumni have been coming through. We've been playing pickup games with them and stuff.
So
building a relationship and showing the kids that we're invested in their success as well. So yeah, I'm really excited for that. And also the girls coach for Evergreen, the high school I went to. Her name's Kayla Fonene, Samoan girl I went to high school with and lived in Spokane with as well. So she's making big changes. They also had a chance to go to playoffs, but they lost. But she's really turning the program around, and hopefully see it grow in my community. So I'm all about that.
Oh yeah,
that's dope.
Yo, turning a 3-win team to a 10-win team and going to the playoffs for the first time in 12 years.
Yeah, that's big.
Yeah. That was
big.
And then also definitely doing stuff for how you can benefit the community. Always about that. That's dope. Nice.
That is dope.
Nice. Good shout out to you two. Thank you guys for being on.
Yeah.
And talking sports, recapping our teams and what's going to be going down this off season. Shout out to my mom, Saili Tafasione Samoa, who had her 70th birthday this week.
Hey.
She's in American Samoa. Man, yeah. It's always been like a grinder and an example of like just putting your head down and working hard. So shout out to my mom. And also shout out to Levasa Island Apparel, as always, for sponsoring us, www.levasaislandapparel.com. Shout out to Brother Uri, who we will see again up here in Vancouver, Washington this July. For the 4 days of Aloha Festival, which is always fun and a good time. Make sure to be following us, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, also the YouTube channel at Polynesian on YouTube. Also follow the Polyticket Network on YouTube, and then also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We have different shows. Way Back Wednesday, where we're talking about like nostalgic topics, and then also the Pacifica Movie Starter Kit, where me and Marcus break down different movies. We had Forrest on to do Boy. That was a trip.
Best movie ever.
And definitely trying to figure out other shows. Like I feel like there's so many like passions or subjects that we're like really versed on, or that we could talk about, and that other people want to talk about, or that they enjoy. So I feel like a lot of different areas that are untapped that we can figure out new shows or new content, or how to figure that out. So if you have any ideas, definitely hit us up on Instagram, drop the DMs, or email us, polynesian@gmail.com. But that's
next time. Let me shout out Devasa, because I've always wanted to do this. Like if I was working on the show, I just want to be like, yeah, man, shout out Devasa, man, for keeping the lights on. You know what I mean?
Pay some bills.
So shout out to you, Eri, Vote, for keeping my lamp on. You know what I mean? Yeah. My laptop.
And that is our special shout out section, sponsored by Harvest Buffet in Federal Way.
Yeah. You know what? We were talking about right before Washington basketball. I did not know that Nate Robinson is dealing with a very severe dialysis problem for the past few years. Kidneys. Yeah, he has to go to dialysis twice a day. Like, it's bad. Like, so.
Twice a day?
What the heck?
If you guys are out there.
It was 3 times a week, but twice a day? Damn.
I know, I probably read it wrong, but
No, I was like, man. But I know it's bad.
No, it's bad. So if you guys are out there, man, be sure, like, if you can, people who are willing to help in any way they can. I know it's tough, like donating blood, or just if you have a spare kidney laying around somewhere,
Sign up to be an organ donor.
Right. Be an organ donor, because you never know whose life you will be saving. Of course, it doesn't have to be Nate Robinson. I mean, it could be some kid that you knew. That's going to grow up to be the president.
That list is very long. My aunt was on that list for like 7 years.
That's crazy.
Years?
Yeah, and she had to go to dialysis like 3 times a week also.
And that's crazy, because you would think, like, people in their minds, people are thinking right now, damn, but Nate Robinson's rich. Can he just pay for one? Yeah, but he can't pay to skip the line, fool. You know what I mean?
Oh, man, that's... Yeah,
Nate Robinson,
America.
Please don't go to Mexico, Nate Robinson. Just wait over here for one.
Just wait. That is our show. Thank you, everybody. I mean, yeah, definitely sign up, be an organ donor, donate blood, or you can. But yeah, that's our show. Thank you to everybody for listening. For Forrest, Mike, I am Lance. Stay hydrated, stay blessed, stay ballin'. Love and light. Peace. Wait, what happened to Nate Robinson?